ladies and gentlemen, the books is in. The books are in. Yep. They in. They're here.
All right, let me take this off of here. All right, peace, and Black African Power, family. Welcome back to Kofi Piese TV. I am Rini Kofi Piese. First, I want to say ETM Hotel, Dua Aku, Dua Netcha, Fatmu Alafie, Fatmu Riri, Fatmu Iwa Pele, Majuba Iba E Gungun, Majuba Iba E Gungun, Majuba Iba E Lakba, Majuba Iba E Lakba. I always want to give honor and praises to the ancestors, because without the ancestors, we wouldn't be here. We are our ancestors. I also want to stand honor and praises to the true and living elders according to African traditions and from an African worldview and an African world perspective. Again, welcome back to Kofi Piese Research Team. I got some of the members on the team. Sutek Akandi, Uyani Olawasa, T'Challa Bangara, Vasa Nicolo Gullah, and our guest for the day, which he's not a guest, but I explain why he's not a guest in a minute. But go ahead, brother T'Challa, Sutek, and Vasa, introduce yourself before I share my screen, and then we get into the interview. Excuse me.
All right, peace to the fam, peace to everybody on the panel. We're back with another great show, and kind of excited about this one myself. And like and share the show, and let's get into it.
EKB, it's peace, family, greetings, family. Share Lapiani, how are you? We black at you again. Welcome back to Kofi Piese TV. We got a good interview with our brother Okomfo. So we're going to get it in, man. Make sure you like the show. Make sure you share the show as you're coming in. Let's get to it.
Peace to the audience, both now and in the future. Peace to my brothers on the panel. Everybody put a smile on, and I'm back to mute.
All right. I'm going to share my screen. First, before we get in the interview, something that we got to do before we start the show. But again, appreciate those that's in the chat. Please like and share the show. Please tell a friend about the show. I like the brother said, this is going to be a good interview. I'm excited about this interview, man. And y'all will see why in just a minute. Let me share my screen. Y'all let me know when I'm sharing my screen. All right, go here. All right, let me know, y'all, when my screen is sharing.
Yep.
All right. Again, like we said, welcome back to Warrior Scholars. This is the 5th interview from our new show, Warrior Scholars, with Okomfo Nkuu Apem. Also, as we all learn, this is something that we live by over here on Kofi Piese Research Team and Mossi Warrior Clan. We must not let our ancestors down. That is something that we are going to continue to do, is continue to make our ancestors proud of us. Today's show is dedicated to Bay Beret. Hold on, let me turn this thing down. It's Bay Beret. And the reason why it's dedicated to Bay Beret, well, y'all will see why doing the interview. But this guy here is a Timni chief. He is a descendant of the Timni people in Sierra Leone. Like I said, later on, y'all will see why I dedicated the show to Bay Beret. I'll also be looking for a presentation about Bay Beret. I mentioned him, the presentation a while back here. I just hadn't had a chance to do the presentation, but it's already done. It's locked in the chamber. We're looking forward on Mossi Warrior Clan coming sometime soon. I just don't want to say when, but just be on the lookout for that presentation. We will be inspired by this brother, Bay Beret. Also, if you hadn't, please go to KofiPiesie.tv.com and pick up the books, Spirits of the Mossi, From Spirits to Pen, One Night Before Bed. As I learned, we all learn. Kalawa's Trip to the Motherland, From Cocaine to Consciousness, and Spiritual Comeback, which is the latest publication that we just put out last month. So go to KofiPiesie.tv.com and get your publication. Again, this is the latest work, Spiritual Comeback. Also, go get to Family Connect Apparel. That's our online store. You can get your Warrior Scholar shirt. The logo on the front of the Warrior Scholar is on the front, and the Warrior Scholar lettering is on the back. If you want some of that merch, go to Family Connect Apparel to get your t-shirts. Again, Family Connect Apparel is the store. All right, during the pandemic, y'all already know what happened. Kofi Piesie research team and Mossi Warrior Clan created or made history. Now, warriors. Now we're gonna give us some working definitions before we get started in the video in the interview. Warriors, and these are just some basic definitions and definition that we deem people to be warrior scholars, because we consider ourselves to be warrior scholars as well. Warriors are from the Old English French warrior, soldiers. Warriors are a person engaged in experiences of warfare. Broadly, a person engaged in some struggles and conflicts. Scholars, a person who attends a school and studies under the teacher, pupil. Second, a person who has done advanced studies in special fields. A learned person, a holder of a scholarship. Scholar, a person who studies a subject of great details, especially at a university. Kofi Piesie perspective of what a warrior scholar. So this is what my perspective of what a warrior scholar is. My meaning of warrior scholar is someone who is well studied and waging war against mistruths, pseudoisms, and willing to stand on the battlefield against institutions and platforms to promote that a warrior scholar is someone on a mission for the truth, for accurate and sound information. A warrior scholar is one who has discipline, good character, morals, and willing to fight back against those who use information dangerously. T'Challa perspective of what warrior scholar. A warrior scholar is one who has embarked on a journey of self-mastery through rigorous physical training and efforts better one state of being. A warrior is one who has embarked on a journey, self-mastery through countless hours of meditation and an effort to learn the arts of stillness, becoming harmonious with their environment and all the existence. A warrior is molded, guided, and torn, and built up so that their people may live and continue to proliferate. Those who seek this path knows the inviolable gifts of humility and knows their place amongst the hierarchy of their people. But what does a warrior has to do with a scholar? A scholar is one who embodies all of the concepts mentioned above with the focus geared towards scientific literacy and literacy as a whole. One must first be able to read, then develop a superb reading and comprehension skills in order to properly relate a message received through one's scholastic endeavors. Proper demonstrations of methodology in any style and discipline of the field of study, and the only way to reach the proper conclusion. So as a warrior scholar is one who fights on behalf of universal truth, one who seeks the truth and standards of combats of the omnipresent misinformation, one who stays in their lane, humility, and does not portray themselves as a master swordsman if they specialize in the spirit. This the last one. Vasa perspective is a warrior scholar. Warrior scholars are those who have the ability to speak the truth in the hardest of times. War, this is speaking for the voiceless, the weary, lost, broken, but not defeated. They give hope, courage, wisdom, and direction to all people. They define all that is truth and that true and all that excuse me, never expose the sacred to us all. They demonstrate what is most sacred to us all, our place in existence and our constant fight for perfection. Just think, their stories and testimonies and their swords is not mightier than the pen. If the pen is held by righteous men, while the righteous man teaching a sword and spirit can waste blood as swiftly as a fool words waste length. So, hey, that's something from last show, but let me stop sharing my show and let's get into the interview. Just wanted to break down what we consider warrior scholars are. All right, so let's get into the interview. Peace, brother Okomfo. And I said guest, and we have guests up on here, but he's not a guest. He's now officially a member of the Mossi warrior clan, so he's now family. He is our family. He's no longer a guest. He's no longer a guest on Kofi Piese research team. He's no longer a guest on Mossi warrior clan. So please welcome our good brother to the family. Brother Okomfo, you got anything, man? Any words, man, before we jump into the interview? I'm gonna pull up the questions too.
Mboka, how everybody doing? I just wanted to add to your definition of a warrior scholar and get some historical context to it. When we talk about the griots, or in the language of our ancestors, the jelly, the griots, the word griot means blood in our ancestral language. The griots, they were charged with the responsibility of being able to, from memory, call out the lineages of the kings and of important people, and to also disseminate the history of the people and the culture just off the top of their head without writing it down. And that's part of being a warrior scholar. It's the being able to commit things to memory and being able to pull it out, pull it out of your mind, at a moment notice of time. Watching Dr. Ben, that's one of my favorite scholars of all time, but he always do that. Like you'll see him lean his head back, he put his finger on his chin, and it's a wrap. But yeah.
All right. Now everybody that comes on to the show, we the first question we always ask is, name some of your favorite warrior scholars.
All right, I already named Dr. John Henry Clark, and I would say Dr. Clark is one of my top warrior scholars because the route that he went to get to be the great scholar he was unconventional in a sense of university wise, and the way that he tells a story about how he began his journey of learning African history. It started with a teacher telling him, or somebody he used to work for, telling him that he had no history to speak of. So there was no books or anything that he would be able to read to learn about his history. And he didn't let that deter him. He went and learned on his own. So, I mean, you already know Dr. Clark. He don't play. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my top. You said 5, right?
No, how many you want to name? I just said name some of your favorite warrior scholars.
It's a lot. My second one got to be Dr. Carter G. Woodson. Now, a lot of people only know Dr. Carter G. Woodson from the miseducation of the Negro, or of him creating what they call Black History Month. which is misunderstood and misrepresented today. But Dr. Carter G. Woodson was a beast, man. Like he did back in those days in the mid 1900s, he was going in. Like if everybody listening right now, if you Google the Journal of Negro History, you can get almost every volume of it for free online. You can read it for free online. But when you read the book, like the way he wrote it was impeccable. The way he cited his sources was impeccable. Like he go into detail, and even within the book, even within his books and his journals, he'll have book reviews of other scholarly books. You know what I'm saying? And he give you the resources you need to further your studies. And from what I know about Carter G. Woodson, he had a team. He had a team of scholars, younger scholars that he had under his tutelage. And what he would do is over the summers they would learn under him. And not only would he teach them, African history, African American history, and world history, he had them in charge of distributing and selling his books. So he also taught them about business. He would train them, and they would go throughout the South and go door to door, and even go to African American schools, and try to get the teachers to buy the books to teach African history in the schools. Yeah, so Carter G. Woodson was no joke, man. He was the first one. Him and other African Americans, they started a group called the Negro Scholarship Academy, where they would raise money and get money together for individual African American scholars to go and be able to do research and have the funding behind them to publish books, go to Africa, do whatever they needed to do to get the history together, you know what I'm saying, and keep the work going. So I say those are my top two.
Okay. You can't go wrong with them. Those are some of my favorite scholars as well. And I'm very familiar with Carter G. Woodson. I had my son, I think might have been maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I had him to do something on Carter G. Woodson. He had to put together something for Black History Month for school. He's 13 now. I think he was about 8 when he did one. So we had to put together a big billboard of Carter. They picked him somebody, but I told him we weren't gonna go with him. He was gonna pick his own. So I wanted him to learn about Carter G. Woodson, man. So yeah, I'm very familiar with Carter G. Woodson, man. Yeah. Your name, man. Let's get into your name, man, and then we're gonna backtrack before we go. Because first, with your name is Okomfo Nkuu Apem, right? Can you tell us what that means and where did you get that name from?
All right. The short answer is the name means it's a healer or healer, but in the Akan language, Okomfo is the Okomfo is equivalent to a Babalawo in the Yoruba culture. So, but the way I got the name is not really about priesthood or any of that. But when I was in middle school, I went to a Pan-African middle school. And instead of having a regular graduation, where like after 3 years you have a graduation, we had, I guess you can say, a rites of passage. But that rites of passage started the day that we started middle school, and that rites of passage ended when we so-called graduated. But the graduation ceremony was like the last ceremony of your rites of passage. And at that ceremony, I was given the name that I have now from my elders in my community and the teachers at the school. And the name was based off the character that I displayed throughout being in middle school.
Yeah, man, I think that was dope, man. That was dope, man. We need more of that, man. You know, everybody know I'm with the rites of passages, and this year I'm going to try to drop a rites of passage book. pretty soon. I hadn't started working on it. It was just an ideal I thought about last year, but we've been putting out other books, and this year I'm definitely gonna be working on that. And we need more of that, man. We need more rites of passage programs. We need to create our own where we can go through the rites of passage. So when you told me that, I just thought that was just dope, you know. And you went to a you said you went to a Pan-African school, which leads me to my other questions. You went to a Pan-African school, but like we were talking yesterday, and I was saying, you know, we've been conversating a little bit off and on a little bit, via Facebook since 2007. And, you know, I didn't even know that, you know, at one point in time you were a Hebrew. So can you kind of tell us about, what camp you was involved with, and what other, or you actually started, or the research team you actually started being a part of the Hebrew perspective, and what led you out? I know this is a lot, and what led you from moving away from the Hebrew train of thought?
Okay, I wasn't part of no camps. I didn't like that concept, because I knew, you know, and also being a Hebrew, but I never denied being African, because that's something I grew up with, and my parents and my relatives and people in my family, they made sure that all of us, all the kids in the family, understood and respected being African. Like, I can remember growing up, and all my great grandmothers were seamstress, so they used to make all these different African, dashikis and all type of stuff for us as kids growing up. So I always had that in my family. But, and also too, before I get into it, I know some of my brothers in the chat. We used to be Hebrews together, and the majority of us aren't Hebrews. We don't follow that teaching anymore. But they would tell you I had many names, depending on the time period and depending on where I was at in my development. But people within my family, you know, Okomfo was a name, would be a nickname they would call me. So yeah. But anyway, with the Hebrew thing, I didn't have a camp, but I wanted to do I wanted to introduce a newer concept. Well, not really newer concept, a concept that was old and people forgot about it. I wanted to reintroduce it, and it was the RBG Hebrews. And I created that with my with three other brothers, and it was based off the fact that when you look at the UNIA movement, you did have Marcus Garvey. He had African Americans from many different religious or spiritual background and perspectives a part of the UNIA. And one of those perspectives or sects was the Hebrews, the Black Jews. So they played an instrumental role within the UNIA, and it was I did that to kind of show the Hebrews that yes, we are African, and even the people who you call your founders and your forefathers, they knew they were African, and that's what they taught. My issue was, how did y'all get away from teaching that? When did y'all stop teaching it, and why? Who diverted, who perverted, and who muckied the waters up to where y'all went from promoting African and being African to saying you're not African and you hate Africa. That didn't sit well with me, so I couldn't rock with that. So I flipped the script, and me and my guys, we created the RBG Hebrews, and it was based on the same premises of the UNIA, where we didn't really we didn't discriminate or hold any malice for our brothers who were Moorish or Christian or whatever they were. We had different goals in objectives in mind, rather than to try to change a man's mind about his religion. That's one of the things that Marcus Garvey taught in his teachings. You can't change a man's mind on his religion, and you wasting time by doing that. You can be able to do other productive things. So yeah, we started the RBG Hebrews based on that.
Right, and Garvey, if you look at the Garvey movement, I mean, that was many people in there that actually, they didn't believe the same thing. You had Christians, you had Hebrews,
Muslims.
you had Muslims, you had cause Marcus Garvey was a Catholic Christian. So I mean, so you had people with different train of thoughts that came together for one common goal and one common destiny. So, yeah. And Brother Kyle, peace, Brother Kyle. I see he's in the chat, but he was also was a part of that RBG Hebrew movement.
Yeah, it's one of my brothers, man.
Yeah. Peace to him. Yeah, and talk a little bit about too. You told me you kind of played the background too. You helped with the Hebrew war machine. I didn't even know that you was a part of the Hebrew war machine at one time with Nashaville. I think Zion Lex a part of the Hebrew war machine as well.
When I was a part of it, he wasn't involved in it. But yeah, me and a couple of other brothers, we all came together and we created the Hebrew war machine.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically for debates mainly. But we had different parts, and I was part of the research team. So you wouldn't necessarily see me, but some of the information that was brought out would have came from me and other people that was on the research side of the Hebrew war machine. And after a while, it kind of got away from the purpose. And when stuff, I mean, I'm a person, I like to stick to the script, stay on, stay on task, stay on code. So when it kind of got mucky and got fishy, it got not necessarily fishy, but when it got murky and got, not from what we set it out for it to be, I didn't want to be a part of it anymore.
Right. Hold on one second here. All right. Yeah, because I just wanted to kind of bring that out too. Yeah, and that was about 5 or 6 years ago, Brother Jamal. He said that was relative recently. Nah, that was we put it in. Yeah, that was 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
Now, I I dedicated the show. Each show that we do, Brother Kung Fu, we dedicate it to a certain ancestor, to someone. So I dedicated the show to Bay Beret, and I don't know how familiar you may be with Bay Beret. He led a revolt, and I'm not gonna give it away because, like I said, I got a presentation I'm gonna be doing soon on the Mossi on it. But
yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, so I dedicated the show to him on your behalf because it kind of led me to my question of what African country do you descend from, and can you talk about them a little bit? So can you tell the people exactly where your ancestry descend from, and can you talk about those people a little bit for people that may not know who these people are?
Yeah, I got you, bro. Well, on my maternal side, I'm from the Temne people. And the Temne people are, you can find them in Sierra Leone and Guinea, or even across different parts of West Africa. But according to our history, my ancestors migrated from Fouta Djallon. And Fouta Djallon is in modern day Guinea, the Guinea highlands. So they migrated down to Sierra Leone, but they were originally the founders of the Temne tribe. They were originally warriors for the Mali Empire. They were mercenaries for the Mali Empire. So when you watch the movie Amistad and you see them getting it in, that's who they was dealing with. They weren't playing no games. So it even kind of goes into the elder that you're gonna make the ancestor that you're gonna make a presentation about.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense that you say that they were they was warriors, because it was the Temne people who led the revolt against the British during that particular period that he served as chief for the Temne people, man. So yeah, that kind of make a lot of sense right there.
Yeah, Bari. Bari is the title. That's how you know that's the title of Bari, it beckons back to our Malian Empire ancestry, because in the Malian Empire, the rulers will often take the title Bari. It was a title for a ruler. Now, when you talk about the mythology and the folklore of the Mali Empire, they would write what they call epics of certain kings, like the Lion King. But they were anthropomorphized the king into an animal. So even in America, when we got enslaved, we kept up that tradition. When you hear stories about Burr Rabbit in America or Burr Fox in
Right.
America, it's not bruh or bruh, it's Bari. It was a title for the king. So those epics that we carried over here, Burr Rabbit is a anthropomorphism of a king, but into an animal as a rabbit or a fox. So you would hear those stories, and we just think, oh, Bird Rabbit is, is some people say it's coon, and it's not really if you study our history. So even the great ancestor Malcolm X, he was known as what? They called him Bruh X or Bruh Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of his names that he was known by. You can even hear Dr. Clark also refers to him by that way all the time. I heard it multiple times. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, and yeah, because I'm very familiar with them too. I know we was talking about them too, and you actually told me exactly where they come from, because the information that I have read, and it may have been that what they were saying with the information I was reading about the Timney was they might have been the first people who actually inhabited once they migrated, inhabited Sierra Leone at that time, because you not only have them there, you have a lot of other different ethnic groups. I think
Yeah,
you
you got
got
the Shribo, Grebo,
the Ga,
the Gola.
the Gola.
My big brother Fude, he's the person that he can tell you the Timney history backwards and forward.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get him on your show one day. Maybe I should build when you do the presentation. I'll link y'all up. But he'll break down the history smooth, because there's a lot of misconceptions about Timney history and culture. So if you read certain books or certain things, it's not necessarily going to be accurate. Because when he went to Sierra Leone and he received his citizenship, and he talked to the elders, and he talked directly to the people. So they gave him the history from themselves. So that's his mantle. That's the mantle that he carried. He disseminates the Timney history, because he spoke with the elders.
Yeah, you gonna have to link me up with him, man. We might have to do something else too. Instead of just and is Burr with nine with you? Because I keep saying Bay Bore, so it's Burra. How you pronounce?
I mean, it's certain. I mean, it's certain ways you pronounce it. I mean, we don't speak our ancestral language anymore, but it would be Bari.
Yeah, Burri. Okay, Burri.
It's a elongated, like an aspirated U. Bari.
Okay.
Bari.
Oh, Bari.
Yeah, so that was the Timney. It was the Malian Empire. The kings would have that name. When you look up Kanka Musa and Sandiata, they would have those. They would have those titles as well.
Right.
From the empire.
Right. T'Challa, he deals with those.
Yeah, he already know that.
Yeah.
Hey,
go ahead,
real quick. What my last name mean, bro?
I'm not sure, but I saw it before. I know a sister with that exact same last name. That's her birth last name.
Yeah. I was just, what I'm saying, you kicking the knowledge on the Mali, what I'm saying, the Timney people. I just want to test you out on Bangora, but no, Bangora's the panther.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. we have a lot of I would say in the I'm trying to find a Western way to put it. We have a lot of animal totems.
Right.
In our culture. That's another reason why you see a lot of animal African American folklore in our culture here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
like I said, bird rabbit, bird fox. It's part of our, and so on and so forth. Because it wasn't just bird rabbit, bird fox. It had bird possum and all type of stuff. So, yeah, my like I told Kofi, my paternal ancestry is from Mississippi. So the Mississippi Delta, Kosciuszko, Mississippi. And my grandfather used to tell me stories like that all the time. Not in those exact same words, but it would be about animals and about one time he was in the, my family did, they cleared the swamps in Mississippi and they were in the lumber business. And he always tell me stories about being out like in the woods and in the swamps and stuff. And, dealing with these animals and seeing the animals and, weird animals or they acting weird. And he tried to tie it back to something, creepy. Maybe when I was younger, I thought he was saying it to scare me. But he just relating, he was just relaying stories to me. Probably stories that he didn't even make up himself. Probably stories that he heard from his dad and so forth. But yeah.
Yeah, because anytime you look at African folklore, folk tales, it has animals involved in it. We're actually working on something now. This coming, hopefully, Black History Month. I don't want to give it away what we're working on. It's not a book, y'all. It's not a book. Because I know y'all probably say y'all tired of dropping books, but we're working on something. And I have something that's actually going to be dealing with the animals. And, you're going to kind of learn about the folk tales and the different, why they select certain animals, in the folk tale when it's dealing, like you mentioned the rabbit, the spider. And Nancy is one of the favorite spider. You got the rabbit. You got the chameleon, you got the lizard, you got so many different animals, and they told stories, what I'm saying, through, these stories, these folklores and folk tales had, different animals always involved in these tales.
Right. Hey, brother, I didn't mean to cut your wisdom, but I wanted to speak to something somebody said in the comments. My brother, true historian. Yeah, he said Bear Rabbit and Anansi are tricksters. I wouldn't say they are the same. No, they're not really the same. What I'm speaking about is from the African American perspective, which when we got to America, we all didn't come from one place in Africa, so we had to consolidate our mythologies to transmit them to our descendants. So while Anansi is a trickster type character, and I wouldn't even say, in a Western perspective, I guess you can say trickster, but from an African perspective, that wouldn't necessarily be true. And Bird Rabbit, although it's not necessarily a trickster, they're characters that they outwit people. And they're non-assuming when they do it. So it's kind of when Europeans interpret our stuff, they try to tie negative connotations to it, to where people stay away from learning about it. So when you hear about a trickster, the first thing comes to your mind, like, oh, that's not, something I want to be learning about. They don't sound right. Like, they even try to turn trickster into devil. A deceiver, but it's not necessarily the truth. Yep. They were more so non-assuming characters or animals. Like, a spider is small. A rabbit is small. It's probably they probably got so many different other animals, in the in the forest or in the jungle, wherever they at, in the desert where they at, that they're predators, so they get preyed on. So they can't really go off their size for survival. They have to use other faculties to survive. And one of those things is being able to outwit bigger, stronger opponents or predators in order to survive. So they weren't necessarily tricksters. They, you know, like I said, they were using their other faculties to survive.
Right. Yeah. Let's man, let's let's talk about can you talk about your educational research Facebook like page, man? Can you kind
Oh,
of
okay.
share? Yeah, this I want to, because I want people to kind of go, because you got a lot of people already over there. Just for people that may not know about your educational page that you got on Facebook, man, kind of, tell us about that and how you got started with that.
It's the African Diaspora Institute. I created it like maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago. It was just basically just one place to put all my information at, because I know a lot of people don't like to read, a page long post. So I put all the information over there and let people check it out. And I also had a team of other people with me who were behind the scenes, and they also, write articles and do videos and go live and stuff like that. And I try to make sure that we had brother scholars and we had sister scholars. And I wanted to, because I know some sisters that they code with the scholarship. So I wanted to get them they shine and let them do their thing. And I also try to get our Afro Latino and our Caribbean brothers involved too, who are also scholars and know the history, so we can kind of make it full circle. And one of my Afro Mexican brothers in Mexico, his name is Alejandro, and he put me on a lot of stuff, man. So I had to put him on. Like he explained, like I know about, a lot of our ancestors ended up going to what we call Mexico today. But he was, letting me know, like, look, man, you can go to Mexico and you will still see villages with African names of African tribes and all type of stuff. So when he showed me that, it kind of, it blew my mind. And yeah, so I got him, and that was he was part of the team for the Facebook page. I don't really post on it like that no more, because I'm trying to write some books right now. But yeah, it's a Facebook page. You can go on this African Diaspora Cultural Institute on Facebook.
Yeah. And then the brothers, man, I don't want to. I got some more questions, but I don't want to hog the mic, man. And the brothers got any questions for Kung Fu?
No, I don't necessarily have a question, but due to the fact y'all know I do my Cimarron stuff, brother, if you ever want a little bit of help, I don't know where they are located, but if you ever want to help on locating some of those African settlements that still have a little bit of the names attached to them, I could help you find them via me tracking down those runaway slave communities and throughout South America, Mexico. I'm trying to find them here in Oklahoma at the moment as well.
That's dope. Yeah, I'll be down, bro. I mean, hey, let's build. I'm down. I'm down always. I know there's a lot in Oklahoma. If you read the book African, is it African? No, it's not African. It's the Bantu Heritage of American English. You ever heard of that book before?
I'm sorry, I was listening, but I had my youngest daughter speaking at the same time, so sorry about the delay. No, I haven't seen that book.
Man, you got to get that book, because it has there's an index in the back of the book, and they give you they go state by state in the South, and they give you like the names of certain like topographic names of places, rivers, streets, and all that. They have African names from our ancestors. So that's a good book to look at. And I believe Oklahoma is in that book as well. I don't necessarily remember it, but I think it is.
No doubt. Any other brothers got anything else for brother Okomfo before I go on with the questions?
No, I don't have anything right now. just enjoying the bill.
All right.
Yeah. I got some. I had to step away for a second, so I don't know if he answered this, but what would you say your particular field of study is, your expertise or your lane of study?
I would say African American history because, I have a lived experience. You know what I'm saying, of being African in America. So, and that's kind of where I started my wider African research and study by studying uh, my own individual ancestry and my ancestors and where I was from, and it kind of branched out to everything else.
Oh, cool.
And also too, I feel like African American history is kind of an overlooked. It's kind of an overlooked or under represented field of historical study. So I wanted to add to that.
All right. That's all you got for him, Brother Sutek?
Yeah. For right now, I come back with something else later.
Okay. All right. Yeah, man. And well, let's go into because this is something, and I need to get more engaged with it. When you first launched it, I don't know, it was might have been about a year ago. You could correct me if I'm wrong, man, but you have your own Black-owned social media, and I don't want to mispronounce the name, but can you tell us the name of it? And the purpose of creating this Black social media outlet you have, because this brother is a very creative, a very, very creative brother, and he's always creating. For me noticing and observing, he's always creating something that I think is dope, and I want to get into something else after you get into your Black-owned social media outlet that you have, because you are offering something else on there that I think is dope. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, can you kind of talk about, for people that may not know about what I'm talking about, you have your own Black-owned social media outlet, and can you give us why you why you created your own social media outlet?
The social media outlet is called Kanda Kundi. Kanda Kundi comes from the Kikongo Bantu language, and it means community network, roughly. It was translated in English as a community network. And Kanda Kundi is based like the principles, or how Facebook has their so-called community rules. Our community is based off African principles. It's based off of the Bakongo people's principles of community. And we have anybody read Dr. Fukuyama book, he goes through all the community principles, and Kanda Kundi was created off those principles that he listed in the book.
Right.
So and within and I also too, to where it's different from Facebook, the majority of the people that are in Kanda Kundi, I handpick them, and I'm looking for I want a certain quality of African people to be at the foundation of Kanda Kundi. So when we branch out and get bigger, we have a solid foundation of solid people, and the majority of them have their own businesses. They're doing their own thing. I consider them to be people that are examples of how we should be as a people. So, we build on there. I don't really be active like that on there, but I try to be, just to keep the morale up, because I be doing other things. But it'll get to the point to where we're doing big things And I love all my Konde Kuti family. Shout out to my Konde Kuti family. And within that app, I'm trying to create different classes and study groups within the app. And we have books that you can check out. You can't necessarily download them, but you can check them out and read them. I mean, I got so many books on my tablet and on my hard drive. You know, you can read them. We study. We build on them. We have book clubs. We haven't had any yet because we need more people in the group and more people to be active. But that's pretty much the concept around that.
So how? Because all right, my question is, all right, you created that what about a year ago, a year and a half ago?
Not even that.
Yeah. Okay.
I created it. Well, damn near about a year ago, I guess.
Yeah.
I want to say it was after the pandemic. So, well, after the pandemic started. So I want to say around March, maybe. If I'm not mistaken, like March.
Yeah. And Queen Cheetah is asking how you get to hold on, let me post her thing up here. She is asking how do you get the app? And I was confused too, like when I got the link for it, I clicked and I thought I did something right, but apparently I didn't do nothing right. From time to time I get like an email, but I never got in, man. I said I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Did you use a regular? How did you sign up? Did you sign up with Facebook, or did you like go through the whole process of signing up?
I can't even remember, man. I don't know if I went through try to go through Facebook, or I tried to go. I don't know. I think you sent me an email. I think that's how I got it. I think you sent me an email. I don't know how. I can't remember how you sent it, but because I know from time to time I do get an email or something from there, or I may see somebody post something. But when I click, I can't never get on, you know. So I don't know what I did wrong, but maybe you can, you know, clear that up for me. And then Queen Cheetah is asking, how can she get the app?
You can get the app. Inbox me on Facebook or Kofi. Inbox me. I'll send you the link. And you can download it. Right now, it's not a standalone app. It's hosted by a company called Mighty Networks, but I have a team of how can I put it? I have a team of brothers who are in the tech field who deals with computer programming and software and coding, and we're working on a standalone app and some other things. And actually, one of the brothers, he started his own video streaming platforms like YouTube. He started his own streaming platform. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of big things coming in 2021. But I'm working on a standalone app right now. But if you want to join, inbox me. I don't really let people join that I don't know or people that I within the circle of Konde Kuti don't know, because I need somebody to vouch for the character of the person before I let them join.
Yeah, she's a pretty solid sister there, Queen Cheetah. I don't know, or we put out your name in the chat, but I don't know. She got so many Facebook pages, Queen Cheetah. So I don't know if she's gonna come at Queen Cheetah. I don't know if it's gonna be Kelly Sykes. And she got another Facebook page too. She got about 3 of them, but she's, like I said, she's a pretty solid sister. She's one of our moderators over here as well, and she's a great supporter. Everything that we put out, she's always supporting it. You know, she always, you know, showing us appreciation for the hard work that we do. So shout out to Queen Cheetah. So yeah, so and also, man, I seen within that you are also within that your same network. You have matter of fact, I'll read this and then we'll talk about, because you have courses. Am I correct?
What's going on, bro?
I was asking, you have courses You have courses, right?
I don't necessarily. I won't necessarily call it courses. It's more so of a study, different study groups based off of books.
Okay, because I see you
And
have
we,
understanding Africa, African philosophy, transatlantic Holocaust, Western Sudanic history.
yeah, and also too within the Kanda Kundi framework, the individual members of Kanda Kundi, they can create their own courses,
Mm-hmm.
and they can charge for them, they can make them free, whatever like that. But that's another component that I will have to come out of my pocket to pay for, to where that option will be open to everybody. But as of right now, we don't have it set up because I got to get my bread up to get it back on to get it back online, because we didn't have a lot of members, so I didn't want to keep paying for that portion of the service when we didn't have a lot of members yet. But when it gets back up and running, anybody within the community, we got sisters that deal with all type of stuff. Some of them are doulas, and some of them with early childhood development. We got brother Ben in there. So anybody within the community can create their own course. We got a couple of brothers that speak various African languages, and just different more than one language in general, that they're gonna teach people how to speak whatever language they're looking to speak. I got a brother in there he speaks Akan. I got a brother in there. He's good with French. So it's a couple of people in there, and they be able to get their thing and teach people. But as of right now, that part of it is it's on hold right now until we get more members.
Because I definitely was trying to tell y'all, because my goal to this year is to continue to produce, just continue to produce publications, but not only publications, other avenues, far as educating the people. Like I said, we got something I don't want to speak on right now, but we got something coming next month. It's not a book. It's something very educational that the family, couples, or you could just teach your kids. Man, it's something we all excited about. I know I'm definitely excited about it. But I wanted to try to get into like some classes, like Brother Ben. Right now, Brother Ben has a class. I actually was supposed to be. I signed up for the class. For people that may not know, hold on, let me go here. He has a class called African Spirituality 101, and it's on Udemy, www.udemy.com. So I'm actually taking his class right now. I've signed up. I think the class, he's been posting it. We posted it. It was $9.99 for the class. I think it's $24.99 for the class. So the first few days that it went up online, everybody should have been jumping on it, which, he did have quite a bit of people did jump on there, and took advantage of the price being $9.99. So I think he has about 28 students enrolled in the African Spirituality 101 class. And so now, not seeing yours, I was like, man, if you still had yours, I wanted to try to enroll in some of your classes as well, because I want to try to, enroll in many people that are offering some type of information, whether I think I know it or I don't know it. I still want, to enroll in some of these classes, even get into a SAR class here pretty soon, man. When he start back to offering, or when he start back to offering, I want to try to get in those classes as well, man. But yeah, man, whenever you definitely get those back up, man. But I'm probably gonna talk to you, man, later today, or what's the name, build with you about that, man, because I want to have something on there, and even just try to help out, in general, to see what I can do or what we can do to help get that back online. And then kind of offer some courses on there as well, or just get those courses, because you do have some pretty dope courses. Well, you said they're not courses, but understanding Africa, African philosophy, Transatlantic Holocaust and Western Sudanic history. And I know I would definitely be interested in that Western Sudanic history class, man. So, but yeah, but that's yeah, that, and then you say you offer books as well on that too, don't you, Kung Fu? But you are always posting books. Can you tell us what kind of books, man, you read now? Because some of the books, like we like to read over here, and we collect books, and a lot of times, like I tell you, you be posting books. Like I be thinking I got some books, man, but you be posting books. I never heard of, like Black Ranging Frontier African Cattle Herders of Atlantic World, 1500 through 1900 by Andrew Saluta, African Discovery of Europe, third edition by David Northrop, Black European History and Culture, the Voodoo Quantum Leap, Altered Reality, Power, and Mysticism by Reginald Crosley, MD. And I'm definitely gonna see if they got that book and if it's available and it's cheap. Because I know some of the stuff you post, man, them books be high is I don't know what. The Common Wind, Afro American Current Age of Haitian Revolution by Julius S. Scott. That's something else I'm interested in.
Yeah, that elder, he's actually the cousin of one of my Facebook friends. Mm-hmm. And that book is legendary in like the academic circle, because in the 90s they were stopping him from publishing it, and he kept trying to get it out, and he could never get it out. And I believe he passed away, but before he passed away, he had a chance to actually get the book published. It's heavy. Like out of all the books on that list, get that book first. That book is heavy because he goes into how during the Haitian Revolution there was a network of information that was being circulated throughout the Caribbean and then back to North America. You know what I'm saying? It was dope. It was dope how it was being done. And it shows how ingenuitive and how determined our ancestors were for freedom. But it's a dope book. But right now, you asked me what I'm reading right now. Mm-hmm. Right now, I'm reading a book called Outsourced Empire: How Militias, Mercenaries, and Contractors Support U.S. Statecraft, by a guy named Andrew Thomas.
Yeah. Okay. Say the name of that book one more time for me, brother.
It's called Outsourced Empire: How Militias, Mercenaries, and Contractors Support U.S. Statecraft, by Andrew Thompson.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely
he goes in. I'm only like on a couple pages in, but he goes in that book. A lot of the stuff I kind of already knew, but he goes in. He's going in that book. So just due to the fact that all this stuff is going on, with the crazies in DC. I wanted to unplug from the melee and actually do some research on what I see to understand what's going on. So that's why I got the book, and I literally bought it a couple of days ago.
Okay, no doubt. Any of the brothers, we are a little over an hour and something. We try to the show to be at least an hour, no longer than an hour and a half. Anybody in the chat got any questions for Kung Fu? And do any other brothers on the panel got any questions or comments?
Yeah. What essentially brought you out or took you away from being a Hebrew Israelite?
How can I put this? I don't know. It's just that my knowledge and understanding at different times it changed. Like a breaking away. I would say that I studied my way out of it. So I would challenge myself on the ideals and the stuff they would say, and I would run it through. I created a methodology to where I can test the information, and and weed out if it's wrong or if it's right, and not have a bias leaning either way. And basically, I just picked the whole thing. I just picked it apart. I picked my way out of it. I studied my way out of it.
Damn, that's a
the
good
short
answer. That's a good answer.
Why do you so why do you think our other Hebrew brothers that's been in it for years and been presented this information just refuse to accept the fact that they may not be Hebrew Israelites?
From my own experience dealing with certain people and trying to talk to certain people, like certain people just can't be reached at all. This is just we all know that it's a waste of time. But it's other people that I know, if they apply their study and the way they study to some real shit, I don't mean to cuss, but to the real and our real culture, they would be amazed. You know what I'm saying? They would drop whatever they thought was the truth right away. But I think a lot of people are held back by the social benefits, I would say, that come along with calling yourself that, of being able to have some type of brotherhood, that you can kind of lean on in certain respects. So I think a lot of people do that out of not wanting to be ostracized or looked at a certain way. And with me growing up, I was all, man, I got one rule. Like, I don't care what nobody think about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Aquarius. I don't know y'all rock with the zodiac signs, but when I read what Aquarius is in them books, that's me. That's how I always been. Like, I got my own swag. I rock to my own, the beat of my own drum. I hate following people. I hate being led because I don't want to be misled. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of them, they don't want to be ostracized. And on top of that, another thing is they don't want to be, it's a shock to your system when you figure out the stuff that you was following wasn't the truth, and you invested so much time and energy into it, and then you also go out on the corners and yell at people, and you wrong. So it's a pride thing too, to where you got to admit, hey, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? I never stood on no corners to yell at nobody, but I have people in my family that I would, treat a certain way based on what they believe and what I believe. And I would later on have to go back and apologize to them because I was wrong.
And that's good character right there. Seeing that's what I'm like what you're saying. A lot of them don't want to be ostracized. Not only ostracized, a lot of them get power struck. I'm seeing a lot of them get power struck because it's a hierarchy within it, and these people get these certain titles and they get certain benefits, and people looking at them a certain way, and people are following them, and they're gaining monetary. Some of them are gaining monetary benefits behind it. Mm-hmm. So even with them knowing the truth, they just don't want to let it go. They just don't. And It was the same thing for me being a Christian. My dad is and it's no secret. Everybody know it. I talk about it all the time. My dad is a preacher. He has his own church, and we build and we talk. And I got the side of my father's family is I call them insane Christians because they will reject you. It's crazy that you will reject your own blood if they don't believe in or ostracize your own family for them not believing. Even when I was a Mason, the same thing. I got ostracized. People started when I started to study more, and like you said, study your way out of certain things. I began to pick apart certain things. I was heavy into masonry, man, and for years, and had my own lodge and became a 32nd degree masonry. And I was, I had titles and all these houses, and had my own lodge. And then I was a Royal Arch Mason where I had my own chapter. I was in a nice temple. I had my own commandery at one point in time. I was man, I was trying to. So, but when I started to pick apart all these things, I began to get ostracized. You know, people started to think I was losing my mind. I was crazy. Brothers didn't want to hang around me anymore. But a lot of people not strong for that. You know what I'm saying? They don't. They want to be liked. Everybody, I want to be liked, but I'm not going to follow something. I don't care if it's making me money or not. If it's not the truth, I'm not going, especially if I'm trying to convey this information to people and teach people, and I'm knowing it's not the truth and it's proven that it's not the truth. I'm not going to keep trying to convey this information to people and mislead people when I definitely know the truth. So, and that comes in with good character. So, in a lot of these Hebrews that talk about, the commandments and all this stuff, and I feel like, you're not even standing on them, because if you know the truth, then you have to reveal the truth. You have to come out of that if you know it's not right. So a lot of them just don't have good moral, and good character. That's just the bottom line on that.
Yeah, but also too, it's not just the Hebrews, because when you look at these various what I call religio ethnic identity groups, because they try to pull identity from these religious institutions and spheres. They try to pull an identity from those, but when you look at them, the whole concept and the whole the way they galvanize people to even join is based off the premise that we lost our culture, we lost our identity, and they base that off that premise and to galvanize people. But if they did a little more research, not even research, me search, if they did a little more self-search, they would figure out that we retain more than people think we retain. And it's just that it's not that we lost it, we forgot how to identify it.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with that. I definitely can agree with that. Any other brother got anything on the panel, man, before we close the show off? And also, and Queen Cheetah, so you saying I'm pseudo because I was a Mason, or you saying I was pseudo because I was a Christian? She said, "Oh, damn,
both."
Kofi. Oh, she said both.
No, I'm joking. My family's the same way though. All my uncles, my grandfather, they all Freemasons. They were all Freemasons in the church. As far as I can go back in my own family history, back to the 1700s, that's what we have a lot of pastors and a lot of school teachers in my family. So, so yeah, they was all Freemasons, man. Like my grandpa got the rings. He don't wear them no more. But when he was younger, he did. You see pictures with the rings on. I guess like a Mississippi thing. It was kind of like the way he explained it to me, it was kind of like a rites of passage for them growing up. Right. When he was in Mississippi. It's kind of one of them things that they like. You necessarily didn't have to do, but it was kind of like a rites of passage to them. Right. That's what he told me.
Definitely correct. It was kind of like a rites of passage. But T'Challa, you had something?
Yeah, it's been a great build, and appreciate everybody coming through. And do y'all see my brothers? Because I'm all up in the language thing. I'm all in the cultural, linguistic anthropology. Like that's, part of my lane and what I'm trying to do with my studies. And I'm just looking at this brother's background picture. Like, this is the first time me building with the brother. Of course, we friends on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. But man, do y'all recognize, like, that's what's up. That right there, like, I want that as a tat, like my next tat. Like, I need that right there. Yeah, that's slick.
Yeah, I do some visual art. I mean, art is one of my first loves. So anything in the arts I do. Like I'm a master chef. I've been a chef for 23 years now. I started when I was 12 in a restaurant. My dad and my uncles are also chefs too. So I would go to work with my pops on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. It's a whole story behind that, but I won't get into it right now. But yeah, I've been a master chef for 23 years, and I'm kind of losing track of it because it's been so long. But I started when I was 12, and anything in the arts I do. So graphic arts, I've been drawing all my life for what I can remember. I used to draw on the walls and in the crib, and I used to draw in the closet so they couldn't catch me when I was little. And my older cousins used to get blamed for it because my grandma didn't believe I did it because I was so small. I was younger than them, and they used to get blamed for it. But then she called me one day, and then she figured out it was me. So yeah, that's what I do, bro. Graphic arts and graphic design is what I do. So if you want something done or something special done or a certain way, I got you.
Dang, and that led me, and I'm glad you said that, and he said that because I don't know how I forgot about this. Let's talk about, you know, because me and Ben was talking about you the other day and the other night, and he was, you know, and he was telling me, you know, you was an artist too, you know, saying you do like graphic designs. I said I didn't know he did graphic designs, and but anyway, you know, and I forgot about this question here too because I want people to know how talented you are, as well. You know, that's why I wanted to mention your you know, your various selections of books that you read, and you post, your information center on Facebook and your Black-owned social media outlet. But you have a clothing line as well, man. And this, bro, and I tell you, it's fire. Golly, I wish my darn sound effects were working. But man, you got some fire clothing on there. So did you do some of the graphics for those, did you create some of the graphics for or designs, graphic designs for your clothing line? And tell people your clothing line. Like I ordered something off there the other day. I can't wait for it to come in. And I seen something on there last night, and I'm gonna go back on there and order another shirt actually today off of there, man. He got some dope stuff on there. So can you kind of tell people about we'll give people the name of it, you know, and kind of tell people your inspiration and what inspired you to create this fire clothing line that you have it, and you know, give the links out for people that may want to go and try to patronize your business as well, your clothing line.
Yeah, the clothing line is called Daikinga, and you know, the Daikinga is the cosmogram of the Bakongo people. But even more than that, a Daikinga is multiple things. To put it in a more simplistic, I won't say simplistic. To put it in a more little, it's kind of hard to say because it's Daikinga is so dynamic. I put it that way, but it's about self-encirclement. Daikinga is self-encirclement, and the Daikinga symbol itself, to me, from my understanding and from what I study, it would be a pneumatic tool, an instrument. It's how we measured. It's how we measured the universe and how we explain how the universe was created. It's how we explain the cycle of life, not only on Earth but also in the universe when it deals with planets. If you read Dr. Fukuyama's book, you already know what I'm talking about. It's a universal blueprint of everything, of all things. That's what the Daikinga is. But in a more general sense, personal sense, it means self-encirclement. And I decided to name my clothing line that because, you know, your clothing is self-encirclement. But yeah, I try to integrate the culture into that.
Yeah, it's dope, man. You got definitely a lot of design. So did you do like did some of the designs and the artwork on there, did you create that yourself?
Majority of it, yeah, I created it.
Man, he got some fire stuff on there, y'all. Can you matter of fact, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna put the links in because I thought I did that last night when I created a show last night, but I didn't because I'm gonna go back and put it in the description. So if y'all come back to this video later on today, I have the description of his Facebook page where you actually can get at him on Facebook. I have his information center link in there as well, his like page, and I have his clothing line. I'm telling you, y'all, when you go on the clothing line, you definitely you definitely gonna get something, man. It's got so much stuff on there, man. I know I liked it, man, and I know y'all gonna like it too, man. So go on there, man. And then, like I said, and it's I love it because it's something that represents it represents us, man. You know, we have to start back to wearing stuff that actually represents
Something.
us. Yeah, you know, because this, we feel like we reached a certain level or a certain status or because we wearing Gucci and Prada and Dolce and Gabbana, all these European things that has nothing to do with you. So let's start back wearing stuff that represents us, that means something that is attached to us. And
Hey, hold on, Kofi. Did you just say La Dolce and Gabbana? I know you did. Say Sister La Dolce and Gabbana. Shout out to Sister La Dolce.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good you said that anyway, so you don't get them no kind of promotion. But we know what he was talking about.
Yeah,
but no, and you on point, bro, because Jay-Z said for everyone Gucci support two Fubu's. And one of the last songs he made. But to kind of build on what you're saying, how we don't have we got to go back to our cultural clothes.
right.
I don't want to, I wanted to stick with the pattern that we already had, which was streetwear. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, we had cross color, we had Carcanine, you know what I'm saying? We had some fly shit. So that's where my inspiration comes from. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually talked to the brothers who started and founded Cross Colors. You know, so I reached out to them, I inboxed them, I harassed them on social media until one of them hit me back. And he was like, yo, I like this, it's hot. And I just wanted to give my respect, you know what I'm saying, tell them that, it's an inspiration. I did the same thing with Carl Kanai, because like I'm 34, but I remember growing up, I remember seeing Nas in the Carl Kanai ad, and Nas is one of my favorite rappers. I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like that's, you know what I'm saying? I want to make clothing too. And I've been making clothing since I was in high school. I used to make like graphic t-shirts for prom and homecoming and stuff like that, special events at school. I used to back before YouTube was even a thing in high school, I used to customize shoes. Like I used to get the they call it spray paint markers and do designs on people's shoes at school. So it's something I always did.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I can tell because like I'm saying, you got some dope stuff on there, man. So for 2021, man, let's get back, man, to our gear, our wear, you know what I'm saying, represents us, man. Let's leave those white European labels alone. And let's buy some stuff that represents us, man. So go out and get Okomfo clothing, man, on his clothing line, man. Go to our clothing line, man, Family Connected Apparel, man, and get you some dope stuff, man. We got some dope stuff on there. Also go to Algebra, man. Brother Unc has some dope stuff on his stuff, man. So get your stuff. And I know like this year, everything that I put on this year, man, is gonna be something that's created by somebody that actually looks like us. So now, I mean, especially with we are online, you gonna see I'm gonna have on Kofi Piese Research Team gear, Mossi Warrior Clan gear, Niger Valley gear, No More Lies, Spears of Flying, Pseudos of Crying, Mboka, like I said, I'm gonna buy some more pieces from Okomfo off of his own. I got something coming now. I'm gonna purchase something today. I'm gonna at least try to purchase something because there's a lot of stuff on there I can't just buy it all at one time. So I'm just gotta buy a piece, every week, the list stuff that I got, man. So let's patronize. And a lot of the time, like we said, a lot of this stuff that we're asking you to buy, I mean, it's actually represents you. Not only represents you, man, it also investing in your mind when we talk about these publications. And even what we got coming out, hopefully, but we got coming in next month. It's not a book. I'm gonna keep saying it. I know y'all tired of dropping books.
Look here, gonna make me ride on down Mississippi.
But yeah, it's something dope. You know what I'm saying? It's something educational. You know, it's something for the family. It's something for couples. It's something for the kids. You know, it's something for yourself, man. So definitely be on the lookout for that. We're gonna close out the show again. Like I said, Okomfo is not a guest. He is family. He is a family. Over here now, he yesterday he became the newest member. For those that may have missed it earlier, he's a newest member of Mossi Warrior Clan. We're excited to have him on board. We're excited to see what he got, what he has in store. So you'll definitely gonna see him over there on Mossi Warrior Clan. You're definitely gonna see him on Kofi Piese research team, because they we all one big family. Kofi Piese research team comes off the tree of the Mossi Warrior Clan, and anything that we put out, it's always Kofi Piese and Mossi Warrior Clan, because we are one family. And who you see over here on Kofi Piese TV, you see over there on Mossi Warrior Clan. It's all the same. It's all one big family. So you're gonna see him on both platforms here, man. So appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hey y'all get in True Historian, and when True Historian go live, y'all get in there, man, and y'all tell him y'all want to see Kofi Piese research team interview True Historian on Warrior Scholars. Warrior Scholars. I've been trying to get True Historian, man. That fella there is hard to reach. So y'all blow him up, man, when he go live and say, man, could you please come on Kofi Piese research team platform and be interviewed, man. I definitely would like to interview brother True Historian and then prick his brain on a few things, man. But again, appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Brother Okomfo, you have any last words, man, before we close the show out?
Yeah, I mean, my last words would be conducive to the time period that we in, current events, because Dr. John Henry Clark always says that a historian job is to tell his people the time of day. So yeah, I would say know what time of day it is. And my dad growing up, my daddy, you know what I'm saying, he's always say that. I know what time of day it is. He always say that. So he kind of always stuck with me. So I'll leave with that. Just know what time of day it is.
All right. What about any of the brothers? Y'all got any last words, man, before I close out?
Yeah, man. I appreciate the brother Okomfo for stopping by. You know what I'm saying? Like Kofi said, the platform is welcome. Appreciate everybody in the chat for coming through, rocking out with us. Make sure y'all get y'all merch from KofiPiesieTV.com and also FamilyConnectApparel.com. And make sure y'all tune in later on at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for our book club. We're doing Destruction of Black Civilization still. I can't remember what chapter we in.
Chapter 9.
Chapter 9. Yeah, man. Y'all tune in, man. 8 o'clock Eastern. Peace.
T'Challa Vasa, y'all got any last words? Okay, I guess not, man. So I end it, man. So again, I want to say I always start out with ETM Hotep. ETM Hotep means to bring forth peace. So I'll say Shemim Hotep. Shemim Hotep means to depart in peace. Again, like you said, man, go to Kofi Piese TV and get your publications. Go to Family Connect Apparel to get your apparel, dope apparel that we have. Also, go give them your name, give them your online store again, Okomfo.
You can just Google Daikinga Clothing Company, and it'll pop up. For the social media platform, just Google Kanda Kundi, it'll pop up. I put that extra bread in it for the Google search, and so when you put it in there, it'll be the first thing to pop up.
Yes, sir. So go patronize that brother business as well, man, and get you some dope wear, you know, be a part of the new wave that's coming, social media outlet he has. And then on that note, man, I just want to say Black African Power. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all, you know, y'all could have been doing anything else with y'all time, but y'all tune in to listen to what we had to say. And we greatly, man, we'll greatly appreciate that, man. We'll see y'all again at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Book Club with Destruction of Black Civilization by our great ancestor, Chancellor William. We are on chapter 9. We out of here, man. Peace.